If an NPC moves in at any point in this playthrough, both my worlds and character will be reset. Sounds easy, right? Just don't build another house. Well, as of 1.4.5, NPCs can and will show up even if you have no housing for them. So not only will we have to beat the game without any help from NPCs, but we'll also have to avoid their spawn requirements by any means necessary. The biggest concern of mine is getting too much silver. If we ever get more than 50, the merchant will move in and, well, to reset. While that may seem easy to avoid, you'd be surprised just how quickly you can rack up that much silver. After autoloading just one chest, I'd unknowingly put us over halfway to a merchant spawn. I mean, well, we gotta watch out, our silver's almost halfway already. So my first goal was to head to the underground desert in search of the encumbering stone, an item that will prevent the player from picking up anything, including coins. But the encumbering stone isn't the only thing I was searching for in the desert. I would love a pyramid. Yes, we just get one on the surface. Now, we hope that we don't get screwed over, but even still, the Pharaoh set isn't even that bad anymore because you can just shimmer it. Well, not exactly. Well, I hadn't realized it yet, shimmer wasn't going to be on the table anytime soon, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, gold. Get that out of my inventory. Nice, okay, we got the sandstorm. It's just muscle memory. I almost just failed it right there. As you can see, I needed this encumbering stone as soon as possible. However, there was a slight problem. I'm attempting this challenge on master mode, and these desert enemies will easily two-shot us. So I was very happy to see an early life crystal. Oh, this is huge. Oh, and for those worried about the nurse moving in, she actually can't until the merchant has arrived. This also applies to the demolitionist, so thankfully we're free to use any bombs and life crystals that we pick up, and believe me, we'll be needing them. We get the magic conch, which is really good, not what we're looking for though, and that would start to become a bit of a trend. Oh. No. Okay, please. I've been looking for like an hour. Please tell me this is it. No. Is it possible to just not ever get it? Is it a guaranteed spawn? Eventually, I would find out the answer to this question, though I wasn't going to like it. It's been almost 2 hours. I've found so many chests, and we just didn't get lucky. It's not a guaranteed drop. I think I rolled a small world, which is, I'm now seeing a big mistake. So I was just going to have to try my best to stay on top of it. However, it was at this point that I discovered I had a much bigger problem to worry about. You know what? What percent is the zoologist? 10%? That is an issue. If we get 10% on the bestiary, zoologist will show up. And we're already at 6.6%. That's not a lot of entries. That's probably like 15 or so. While I can just not defeat enemies, that doesn't apply to critters. If they're on your screen, you get the entry. And there are a lot of critters. That rules out the Aether biome completely, so no shimmer for us, which sucks because we can't get the Goblin Tinkerer. So the other thing we haven't talked about yet is boss fights. I'm well equipped to fight the Eye of Cthulhu, but I've purposely avoided doing so because that is one of the bosses. Oh shit, that's really annoying. We got another critter. Now we're up to 7.14. Oh my god. I might be just screwed. Anyways, assuming we're not. No, Sluggy, 7.33. As I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by those critter entries, defeating the Eye of Cthulhu, Brain of Cthulhu, or Skeletron would satisfy the requirements for the Dryad to arrive, which is quite tragic because that means we miss out on items like the Shield of Cthulhu, Brain of Confusion, and Dungeon Loot. So you're probably wondering, what bosses can we defeat? Well, defeating Queen Bee would give way for the Witch Doctor. King Slime is kind of a gray area because it spawns the Nerd Slime, though I doubt we need any of his drops anyways, which just leaves Deerclops. Though once again, I can't imagine any of his drops helping us out against Wild Flesh. So, boss gear is off the table. Instead, I looked into getting the Blade of Grass. In order to craft it, we need jungle spores, vines, and stingers. Jungle spores could be easily picked up around the biome, and I had already defeated a man-eater before I realized our bestiary predicament, so the vines weren't a problem. But in order to get stingers, we'd have to defeat at least one of these jungle enemies, and I just couldn't justify giving up any non-essential entries. But as it would turn out, I didn't have to. Okay, so theoretically, if we defeat enemies, or rather, if the lava defeats enemies, we won't get any credit in the bestiary. Okay, Jungle Bat just died, and as you can see, it didn't show up. So this might be our only way of farming drops. Okay, that took a really long time, and we only got... Oh shit. Okay, I clearly messed up. That was not there before. That's okay. Why do I not see it? Oh, I don't have enough vine. Okay, that's easy enough to get, though. However, what wasn't easy was keeping those bestiary entries down. Okay, and that should be our blade of grass. It took a while, but we got there. We're at... What? It went up again? Oh, God. Before we continue, I do really want to get Feral Claws, because I think we're going to go melee, at least for free hard mode. Because I think that'll give us the easiest wall of flesh kill. And we really need an easy wall of flesh kill, because we only have one shot at the boss. Once the guide is killed for the first attempt, we can't summon it again until the guide arrives. But of course, if that happens, the world will be reset. Now, having just been through that whole encumbering stone fiasco, I'm not sure why I thought I would get lucky here, but I would spend the next 30 minutes searching for this thing to no avail. And just to rub salt in the wound, the game offered up this 1 in 50 pet item instead. Dude, I have had just terrible luck. I wasn't able to find the Feral Claws, but yeah, again, small world was not the play. So we're just gonna move on without it. In other news, we are now up to 8.79%. That's really bad. We've got like less than 7 slots remaining, so we had to pick up the pace. The fastest way I knew to progress was to fight the brand new Cthulhu. Well, we can't defeat it without spawning the Dryad. We can summon it and defeat as many creepers as we want for tissue samples. With those tissue samples, we can craft a pickaxe necessary for looting Hellstone. And the best part about this strategy is that the creeper bestiary entry won't unlock unless we defeat the boss. So the only risk of doing this is accidentally picking up an Undertaker and spawning the Arms Dealer. But that of course was easy enough to avoid. Okay, I think we're good to go. Now, I think what we do is we just head straight to Hell. I'm gonna try and get some Hellstone. And at this point, I figured I had things under control. However, I was about to put the run at great risk. Did you catch it? I just unknowingly picked up a yellow marigold. This is a dye item, and if the player has one such item in their inventory, the dye treater can arrive. I was digging down with that marigold for nearly 5 minutes before I finally noticed. Oh, I need to get that in my inventory. Oh my god. That is scary. We got very lucky here, but as it would turn out, our troubles were far from over. Shit. Oh, that's so bad. What are we at now? 9.34. I'm so screwed. While it was a little awkward, I managed to get enough Hellstone for the full set of Molten Armor and the Volcano, without getting any more entries. But this is Master Mode, so I still didn't like our odds against Wall of Flesh. Before attempting that fight, I wanted to get the Knight's Edge. And at this point, the Miramazo was the only missing ingredient. You see, back when I said that dungeon that was off the table, I wasn't being entirely honest with you. While it's true, defeating Skeletron would allow for the Dryad to spawn, there's another way inside the dungeon. The only thing preventing you from entering the dungeon before Skeletron is the Dungeon Guardian. However, just like every other enemy in the game, it can't spawn if the spawn cap has been reached. We'll loot this, and we're off. So we just gotta move quick, because we have until day. These guys will all disappear. Should be plenty of time. I just want to get the Miramaza. The trouble is, the first chest here is going to be Cobalt Shield. We do want it, but yeah, it's going to make finding the next one pretty hard. Now, if I was smart, I would have put on the Cobalt Shield immediately so I could avoid this. But as I was getting juggled through the dungeon, I managed to grapple into some pots to get another golden key, and by paying close attention to the dungeon loot order, I was able to find Scepter. Yeah, there was a fork in the path that I missed. Okay, take 2. But this time, we have the Cobalt Shield. Let's see what's in this one. Yes, okay, I got it. If we could get Godly on our Knight's Edge, we would be so set. Knight's Edge, strong, okay, could be worse. The other thing I haven't really factored in is I've got like no maneuverability at all. Just not good against the Wall of Flesh. You need, like normally I'd do Golf Cart or the Horse, or I'd have just used the Shield of Cthulhu, none of which are on the table. If we could find Chillet, that would be huge. We could try and look for it. Thankfully, unlike the other drops we'd searched for underground, the huge dragon egg is a guaranteed spawn on every world. And since I've already registered all the cavern critters into the bestiary, there's really no harm in looking for this thing. Yes, there it is. Okay. Huge. I was just thinking to myself, why did I assume this would go any better than any other things we've looked for and failed? But it did. So we have Chillet, which means not only do we get a dash, but also It's a super fast mount that will easily outspeed Wall Flesh, and we get that huge, juicy damage bonus as well. So, we have about one more slot remaining, which is not good. So again, we can avoid killing enemies. It's going to be really annoying while building this hell bridge. We can't really do a whole ton about critters. However, there is one thing we can do. Now that we've seen that butterfly already, there are just 2 critters that pose a threat to us. There's nothing we can do about the snail, but the lava fly is a critter that only spawns at night. So if we only work on the bridge during the day, it can be completely avoided. This of course makes the already tedious process of building this bridge without killing enemies take even longer, but it's much better than having to reset the whole run. Okay. While it was quite annoying, I think it's done. And the best part about that, we're still under 10%. So, I'm a little nervous, so will I. We're only gonna have one shot at this. Let's give this a try. Coming together, this is really good. We'll get a bunch of extra hits in. Oh yeah, we built this bridge way too long. It's a great problem to have though, I will say. While I fight this boss, I should probably address the elephant in the room. Now that the guide has been killed to spawn Wall of Flesh, even if we defeat the boss, the guide will just spawn back and reset the game. Furthermore, now that NPCs can spawn in without eligible housing, that voids the truffle's only requirement other than reaching Hardmode, so he's a threat too. However, I had one last trick up my sleeve. Okay, we should be good. Yes, okay, Hardmode. So, how are we going to stop these NPCs from moving in? Well, to my knowledge, there's only one way to do it. Before entering Hardmode, I farmed up 10 tattered cloth so I could craft the Goblin Battle Standard, because NPCs can never spawn during an invasion. While it would have been optimal to do this as soon as possible in the run, I decided to ban it in pre-hard mode because it wasn't required and would have made the challenge much less interesting. But again, there's no avoiding it now. If we just use this Goblin Battle Standard, we should, I think, be able to just play normally here? Or so I thought. For starters, I was getting mobbed by the Goblin Army 24/7. These event enemies will only show up if you're near world spawn or NPCs, so eventually I moved my base to the ocean so I could avoid them. And while many of the restrictions have been lifted now that we don't have to worry about NPC requirements, we're not entirely free because we still have to play without NPCs. That means no modifiers on anything that can't be shimmer forged, and no buffs that have fish in the recipe because we can't get a bug net for bait. These 2 factors alone made the mechs noticeably more difficult. After Plantera, I had planned to fight Fish Run for better movement options, but again, no bug net, so he's not an option this run. Instead, I farmed out the materials for Master Ninja Gear, only to realize last minute that we can't combine any of the accessories together without the Tinker's Workshop. Oh, I can't combine them. But all these things have been just minor nuisances. The major concern was yet to come. So, I think we're ready for Call Test. I don't love my odds, because I am looking at the list of weapons, and everything's pretty out of the way, and as far as ranged weapons go, like, I'd have to completely swap classes, because none of the arrows can track, and I can't really use bullets, so we can't use glorified bullets, and it's just gonna make this fight a pain. So, we'll see how it ends up going. But they are not here. I don't actually know where they're supposed to be in this dungeon, unless they're... No. Okay. So I took to the wiki to find out what I was missing. Skeletron and Golem have been defeated, no bosses are alive, and no events are happening. Okay. Obviously, this is a big problem because the Goblin Army is the only thing holding back all of those NPCs. But there was still a way forward. NPCs can only spawn during the day, so in theory, if we wait until nightfall, defeat the Goblin Army, then summon the cultists, we can then reactivate an event without ever giving an NPC a chance to spawn. With that, hopefully, we will see cultists. If not, I have no idea what we're gonna do. So, let's have a look. And they're here. Okay, perfect. So, we're gonna just use the pirate map. Now, we should be safe now that the cultists are here. Just before I forget. I don't want to forget. That would be so bad at this point. And then, yeah, we'll see how hard this is. Hopefully, not very. While I'm certainly carried by homing projectiles in this game, my aim wasn't bad enough to lose to the likes of cultists. And that proved to be the last obstacle, as we were able to shimmer forge the pillar weapons, which ended up providing more than enough damage to deal with Moonlord. Okay, there we go. Not bad at all. Huge. As you can see, No NPCs whatsoever. Yeah, cool run. That was more difficult than I thought it would be, to be honest. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.